What's up, weebs? I'm Steven.
And I'm Jacob.
And we have anime on the
mind.
Oh.
So my buddy Steven and I are trying something new where we watch anime.
It's not new to me.
And we review it. Today we are going to be reviewing Akame ga Kill. Fantastic anime. Why you say?
Today we're reviewing Akame ga Kill.
And who wrote Akame ga Kill, Steven?
Howard Stern.
Get your
Takahiro. Written by Takahiro and illustrated by Tetsuya Tashiro.
Very good. Those of you that are new to our show,
like we are,
so are we. We play this little game where Steven has to give a synopsis in 15 seconds, and Steven has 15 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, so there's a guy and he leaves his village to go get some money, and that's a big deal, but he doesn't get anything because he realizes the place that's supposed to pay him money is fucking corrupt. So he ends up getting with a gang of murderers who actually are assassins for the good of the people that are there to end up killing all these other people, and he makes money by killing those people, and so he's chill with it in the beginning. But then
Time! You did better on that than I thought you would.
It's been running up until 2016, but I recently read that there was a final chapter that was released in 2019 to become its own personal volume. Of course, I have not read the manga, so...
Does that mean we could get a second season?
No.
So, Akame ga Kill follows a young man called Tatsumi as he leaves his village on a journey. He leaves his village with his two best friends, Sayo and Ayasu. Tatsumi, Asuya, and Sayo leave their poor village to move to the capital to join the army in which they can earn money and send it back to their poor village. On their way to the village, they get separated, and in the first episode of the anime, you follow Tatsumi as he is venturing to the capital and arrives awaiting his friends.
I've got to tell you, the first episode really threw me off because I was told about this anime from a friend that I work with who just declared it as, you know, a great piece of art. And in the first 5 minutes, you find out about a beast. There are beasts in levels that are a part.
It's very video gamey.
Like Guildy.
Yeah, it's very video gamey.
And like Quest. And it is called an Earth Dragon. And the goddamn thing is a mole cricket. It looks nothing like a dragon. And in that first 5 minutes, when I saw the Earth Dragon, I turned it off and I stopped watching. And it took me about a week later before I actually went back and rewatched it. And boy, was I glad that I did. Don't let that mole cricket stop you. Because after he beats that mole cricket's ass, he's going to make it to the capital, where all sorts of shit's about to go down.
And that is where shit starts to go down. See, this is where it caught me off guard, Steven, because I felt like a sports announcer right there.
Sure did.
The Earth Dragon didn't really throw me off as much. As a fan of Sword Art Online, I really liked that whole video game aesthetic and anime. But I will say that the first episode did throw me off in the sense that I went in blind. I went in from a friend's suggestion who told me nothing about it except the fact that it was a good anime. When Tatsumi arrives to the capital, he
follows through with his original idea of trying to join the army, only to figure out that they have a waiting period as well as a beginning kind of level that you have to ascertain to before you can start to make real money. He was not for that at all. He wanted to get right in. He had the skills to get it done. So they kicked him out. He then met one of my favorite characters in the anime, Boobies.
He meets a girl named Leone who promises him that she knows a way to get him to skip the ranks, and all it costs is a little bit of coin. So, like the naive child that he is, he decides, okay, yeah, I'll pay this girl some money. She'll get me higher ranked in the army. And Boobies leaves.
With the money.
And never comes back. And so, homeless Tatsumi decides that he's just going to kind of poach up on a street corner and fall asleep when this lovely young lady in a carriage drives on by and notices him and says, you know what, I want to pick him up.
And she's apparently done this with a lot of other homeless people, or
She's so nice.
street urchins, as they say as well.
She's so sweet. So
she
sweet.
takes him shopping, puts him up in a very nice bedroom, feeds him luxurious dinners, and everything is honestly as good as it could possibly get for Tatsumi. Finds out that even her father has some friends in the upper ranks of the military and promises to get him a position. So why does this anime continue from the first episode?
Yeah, it sounds pretty promising. Sounds like it's a done deal, you know? But it's not, because her family
kills them and tortures them.
One night when Tatsumi is spending some time alone in his room, he looks outside, he hears some noise, and he notices a couple figures moving around. He notices Night Raid, is what they're called, outside of the mansion.
You come to learn that they are a group of assassins whom, at first glance, you think are all for evil cause, but you come to find out they are actually for the people, as the girl who had picked up this poor street urchin Tatsumi was actually a girl who turned these poor people into toys, of which she would do horrible masochistic torture to.
Night Raid murders the little girl's family and then chases down the little girl. And Tatsumi, thinking Night Raid are villains, goes to her aid, rushes down with his sword to save the young woman, until Akame, who is the one standing in front trying to strike down the young lady, lets Tatsumi know of everything that's going on. It just so happened that the young lady and her butler were running to a safety shelter in a shed on their property. And what's in the shed, Steven? What's in that shed in episode 1? What's in that shed?
Sadness.
Episode 1 starts so happy, so vibrant, so colorful, so
full
fun.
of mole crickets.
It's a solid 19 minutes of just fun, happy adventures, and you really start to like the main character. And then the last 3 minutes, the twists and the turns that it takes, it really shows you how. I mean, if episode 1 can do that, then how dark is the rest of the show gonna get? So after meeting Night Raid, Tatsumi is kind of forcibly taken in by none other than Leone, Steven's favorite character.
Boobies.
Because when you know who Night Raid is, you kind of don't get to go free. Yeah. So the next couple episodes, they kind of just follow his journey on whether or not he decides to join Night Raid.
No episode in this entire anime, 24 episodes long by the way, is drug out, feels like a filler, or provides you with anything that you don't need. All of it seems to be out of necessity and leads to a more dedicated and detailed storyline, which is one of the reasons that I love it.
Definitely.
You could easily binge this in a day. You can't.
I did.
It'll make you not want to stop. Each episode will have you wanting more, which is, I mean, we all want that in an anime.
So at this point in the anime, we've been introduced to just about every main protagonist. You have Tatsumi, who's picked up from Night Raid. You have Akame, who's the main character of the whole group in Night Raid. You have Leone.
Boobies.
You have Mine. You have Shield. You have Bulat, Big Bro. Right?
Are we doing this again? Oh, were we going back through
Yeah,
it?
we were going back through just to make sure we got a clean take. We have Bulat.
Big Bro!
We have Labak. We have all of these diverse characters, right? A whole group, a whole posse, if you will, of just completely contradicting personality traits. It really makes it feel very lighthearted, I'd say. The anime, in the times where people aren't dying, is a very lighthearted, goofy anime.
There's a lot of love, a lot of teamwork, definitely. You get a family vibe right off the bat, and you feel like you're part of the family because you're experiencing everyone's lows and highs. And that's one of the things that this anime really does a good job of, is grabbing hold of those heartstrings and just fucking playing them till the end. By episode 24, you will know what heartbreak truly is. Your ex, forget about him. That wasn't pain. Episode 24 is pain.
Speaking of heartbreak, I experienced heartbreak for the first time in this anime on episode 6 when a character is introduced named Seiru, who's pretty hurt from the death of her mentor, Ogre, from previous episodes. While Night Raid was out on a mission, Seiru had confidently hunted down 2 of the protagonists.
It's rough because you don't know at first. When Tatsumi meets her off the bat, She seems like, wow, maybe the capital isn't all corrupted, you know? She's one of these guards in the military who's trying to help people. And then you find out that it's because she is such a zealot against the ideas of rebellion and sedition that it's a little crazy. She went from a human to just a straight murder machine, all in the names of her beliefs.
You see the worst of that by episode 6, which I remember texting you after episode 6, thinking to myself, I've only been watching this show for an hour and a half. How am I already tearing up from an episode? In this episode, we witnessed the death of not one of my favorite characters, but only because she didn't have enough screen time to really become one of my favorite characters.
And she wasn't really much of a character. She was just more of a...
She had
She's
potential.
just a nice person with a big old pair of scissors.
Big old pair of scissors. Do you need another beer? 3, 2, 1.
You're too slow.
I had more beer.
Hadouken!
Now, we could go into detail about every character that dies. We could go into detail about every character that's introduced, every antagonist that's introduced, but we're not gonna do that. Over the next few episodes, we are introduced to the 3 beasts, which are Deidara, Nyao, and Liver. Now, his name is spelled liver, for first of all. So, I don't take him seriously. And we see a couple of our protagonists hunting them down, and let's just say somebody dies.
Somebody dies?
Let me tell you, I don't know if you know, but there's death in this anime. In
this M&A.
After the 3 beasts are struck down, we see this very, very impersonable antagonist, as Death.
She's hot.
You want to talk about as Death? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
She's blue!
She is
That's
blue.
That's weird.
Odd.
But not sad blue. Just blue, like the color, the hue.
As Death decides she's tired of Night Raid and wants to form a group of people to kill Night Raid. This group of people is called the Jaegers. Yes, like Attack on Titan.
Or the Meister.
But cooler.
Jaeger means hunter in German. Guten Tag.
So you got Kid Icarus. You got the dude from Borderlands, but with a flamethrower.
You got the guy who has the same thing as Tatsumi, but water element.
And you can tell that he secretly has a good heart, and he doesn't know that what he's doing is actually really evil, right? You got the emo little sister of Akame. You got Seiru with her evil demonic dog. And then you got my personal favorite character. You got Dr. Stylish, who is just an excessively flamboyant doctor who can't do anything in action, but you give him a couple hours in his doctor's office and he'll fix you up real good. Speaking of Dr. Stylish, he tries to hunt down Night Raid by himself, and let me just say that he fails.
Yeah, he tries to take down Night Raid by himself, or so you think. It turns out that he's got an entire posse of mutated humans, of which are experiments that he works on, which I always hate those characters in animes.
But you like Orochimaru.
I like his desire to live.
As Death decided she wanted a husband, and so she puts on literally a fighting tournament to try to find the man that she loves. And let me tell you, she finds the man that she loves, and who is that man, Steven?
Dr. Stylish.
No, it's Tatsumi.
She falls in love with Tatsumi.
She takes him home with her, and, you know...
And what do?
She tries to get jiggy, and he's like, no, I can't. And...
that killer song came on. You know what I'm talking about. As Death tries to get Tatsumi to fall in love with her because she's decided that she's going to consummate her love with him. And Tatsumi, being a man of strong will, God bless him, he turns her down and returned to Night Raid after running away. Why would you turn her down? I mean, Night Raid was cool because they're paying. She's not evil. She's just
She literally likes to kill people.
okay. But what are you gonna do? Bros before hoes. In this case, Night Raid before Blue Babe. Anyway, so he returns to Night Raid with a whole bunch of info that he's gained, learning about the Jaegers and Esdeath and the shit that's going on in the capital.
After that, you start to introduce new people like the Emperor's nephew.
Kuzco is in this anime, and he is still a llama. You will be
No touchy.
You won't believe it.
No touchy. No
He's
touchy.
still trying to build the water park,
You know, it's
and
rough.
it's still very poor dialogue all the way through.
Following that, we get introduced to a new character. My personal least favorite character. I absolutely hate this guy's gut. Hate him so much. His name is Sura. He is the nephew of the guy controlling the Emperor or something. He's a really rough dude. I don't like him at all. His voice acting does not fit the character at all. I think it adds to the unlikability. I think they did a good job just making people hate him. He
Did you
sucks.
watch it in English?
Yes, I did. The reason you get introduced to him is because while standing on the top of a mountain, Tatsumi runs into Esdeath again. Talk about odds, right? And then somehow this guy comes along and literally teleports the both of them onto an island by themselves for who knows how long. When Tatsumi gets back, what starts next is probably my favorite battle of the entire anime, and that's the canyon battle. The canyon battle is when Night Raid splits up the Jaegers. And so you have Wave, Bowls, and Kurume split up from the rest of the Jaegers in a canyon when they get ambushed by Night Raid. That fight lasts a couple episodes. I feel very confident. I think that is one of the highlights of the anime.
I will say between that and the ending,
Yeah.
last 2 episodes, those 2 fight scenes are I'd say those are top of the line.
Now, everything that happens after this episode is really just build up at this point because we're on to the episode 18-ish range. We're in the home stretch of the anime. So you have 4 new antagonists introduced in the last 6 episodes. They're not meant to last long, and they don't. They all die in that episode. It's not super important, but I will say you get some really good fighting action out of Lubop, who doesn't get a whole lot of fighting action in this anime. He gets the least out of everybody.
He does get a good
But you really start to see how badass he is, which is really, really cool. After that, you do have a really good fight between Tatsumi and Mine and Seru, the girl with Koro, who I hate.
I hate her so much. I hate you so much, Seru.
You know, it doesn't lighten up. It doesn't lighten up because right after that fight, what happens? Tatsumi gets kidnapped again. Steven, that's 3 times in this anime that Tatsumi keeps getting kidnapped by what's her name?
Esdeath's in love with him, man.
It's ridiculous.
I wish a woman who was in charge of that many people with that much money came after me like that.
My God. My God.
Kakashi.
When Tatsumi gets kidnapped again, naturally, Night Raid decides that they need to go get him. So they save him from a public execution in the middle of a coliseum. It's pretty dark stuff. But not before a new character, Budo, is introduced, who, is a lightning bender. No big deal. And what does Budo do? Budo brings down the thunder. Budo got one really good strike down, but luckily Mine with Pumpkin was able to strike down Budo and just absolutely obliterate him, which is a very happy ending, I hear you thinking to yourself. That's good. That's really glad. No, it's not. It's not good.
Heart-wrenching. I don't even understand how died. I don't get it. She was struck by some lightning. She seemed chill on the ground. Nobody was like, oh shit, she's in fucking grave peril. They were like, oh cool, we did it. And then just taking a trail back home, you know what? I'm gonna clock out. Let me tell you, Tatsumi, I've loved you the whole time. And I love this in an anime. Tatsumi, instead of being one of those things where they hint at love and it never happens and it makes you want it, Tatsumi actually responds to her love with love. And it's like, whoa! You're heartbroken.
So let me tell you, there aren't a whole lot of people in Night Raid left. And it comes down to the big battle, where the Emperor now is told to summon a giant mecha suit. It's
Numero
ridiculous.
uno. It's a Gundam.
It's literally ridiculous.
It's a fucking Gundam.
And this dude who's in charge of this kingdom, what does he start doing? He starts destroying the kingdom. It's ridiculous. But he doesn't know what he's doing is bad? How stupid are you?
He knows what he's doing.
How
That's why he's so
stupid are
upset.
you?
And his fat uncle's over there eating a fucking turkey leg while he's telling him.
And what happens when you have to fight a giant mech but also protect the people that it's potentially killing? Well,
I know.
What, Steven?
Spoiler! You die!
And so how does the anime end? Well, the anime ends with you see one of your favorite characters in the anime walk up to another character and say, "Don't be sad. I'll be rejoining the rest of the squad." And then you see her in an alley.
Death was not only necessary,
Didn't need to happen.
but the most heartbreaking effect.
It didn't need to happen. It was an unnecessary
It
death.
had to happen.
It was an unnecessary
With
death.
so much death,
It was an unnecessary death.
it was gonna happen, and it was the way that they did it. All she wanted was the death of the minister, and she fucking got it.
It was an unnecessary death.
But that motherfucker pulled a gun. And the way she dies in an alley. And at first you'll think to yourself, what a terrible place to die. I don't want that for her. But then they zoom in on her face, and you realize she's smiling because that's where she was most comfortable, was in an alley in the slums. And something in your heart just, I don't know what happened to me that day, but I changed as a man. I changed. It broke me.
Overall, I'd say that there's a lot of themes in this show. The economic difference between people and how a lot of modern day society, views different economic thresholds. This idea that the more money you have, the more you can get away with. I'm
5 beers in now.
I think the main theme for Akame ga Kill is kind of like a half-seas between just love and loss. You hear the sayings like, if you love it, let it go, and if it comes back to you, then it was meant to stay, that kind of bullshit. And I think with this anime, it's a matter of, what if you don't let it go? What if it's taken from you? How do you feel? How are you able to deal with those things? And it shows not one, not even 5, but over 10 different characters dealing with the exact same style of loss and the ways that they have come to deal with it. And so I think with that, it's a beautifully done anime, and it will break your heart.
Rating time! Should you watch Akame ga Kill?
No! Yes. Absolutely.
Should you watch Akame ga Kill?
Yes.
I would give Akame ga Kill a solid 7.5 out of 10.
I'd say an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
That'll leave you with some sad dreams.
So do us a favor. If you're interested in anime that involves any kind of mythical powers, a lot of battling, a lot of violence, go check out Akame ga Kill. It is genuinely a really, really good time. It's only 24 episodes, so if you end up not liking it, you didn't waste too much time, right?
I don't think you won't like it. I'm sure you'll like it.
It's a pretty good one. And while you're checking it out, do us a favor. If you like this video, if you think this was a fun or entertaining or cool thing, this is our first try at it. Share it with your friends. If you have watched Akame ga Kill, or if you do watch Akame ga Kill, let us know down below how you liked it, anything that you agree with, anything that you disagree with on our part. We'd love to hear your input on it. And if you have any recommendations for any kind of anime that you'd like to see us review in the future, we can only get better from here, right?
It's only up from here, yeah.
It's only up. So let us know down below. And now let's flip it over to our favorite clip of the anime. And whoop, we
sure fucking did.
Here's our favorite clip. No, we're almost done. I'm drunk, but we're almost done. I feel like I've been talking a lot though. You should do it. Here, you should be like, and here's our favorite clip from the show.
And here's our favorite clip from the show.
Done either way.
Don't let him walk all over you. Let him know who's boss.
Greetings, friends. I'm here from the Imperial Navy.
There's currently creative genius going on in this room.
I'm so sorry.
I wish the door was louder just because it would be funny.